I expected bigger applause, but I realized you're just getting set. It's Todd Barry, unannounced intro for Andy Kindler. Probably should have been announced, would have filled out some of these seats. It's about putting butts in seats, people. I don't have to tell you guys that. Anyway, I'm Todd Barry, underappreciated comic. It is, I mean, I do well, but it is crazy I'm not bigger. Someone like Kindler, it makes perfect sense. He told me to insult him, so that's what I'm going to do. He's a great mic, he's the best lectern I've ever talked to. It's a lectern, by the way. You guys didn't know that. Anyway, we were just informed we have a hard 4 p.m. curfew, so I'm going to keep this brief while Andy frantically whittles down his top 10 Bill Maher slams. He's back there, he's like, this one, I don't know, there's only 80 of them. There's 80 of them enough? I don't know, but this is always a fun thing to see, and it's always fun to predict who Andy Kindler is going to take shots at. And I found the secret to figuring out who it is. Just imagine the list of comedians he'd give his left nut to work with. And that's who he's going to take on tonight. There's no one he slammed that he wouldn't work with in a heartbeat. I thought that would get bigger laughs. Is it too cutting for you guys? Too cutting for the conference room? Anyway, before I bring Andy up, there's a key to really, Andy does really walk the walk. He does have true integrity. And to stay focused on that, just while you're watching him, listening to him slam people for the choices they made. Just block out the fact that he was a judge on Last Comic Standing. Please welcome my friend Andy Kindler.
I moved the mic back. Todd was told not to eat the mic, and he ate the mic. Because he's not a team player. In his act, he's a team player. I'm a rebel on stage, but I follow the directions that people give me for audio. So yes, maybe I don't like Bill Maher because he's a horrible human being. Sure, a terrible person. And I've never seen a dinosaur wear so much hair gel. Right, I get it. And has only been doing stand-up comedy for 40 years and still doesn't get the structure of it down. But I kid the overrated idiot. I don't usually use the word idiot, I'm sorry. Todd Barry, everybody, please. Not that much. I hope that, all you have to tell me is that I have to be a certain distance from the microphone, and that's what the whole speech is going to be about. Because everybody knows I start slow for some unknown reason, and I cram at the end. Is it okay? Does it sound okay? That's what I want to know. Give me a thumbs up. All right. Now why? Why with the empty seats up front? Why is it? Why is it? This is a way they put seats that they know won't be filled just to annoy me. Let's put seats out of the eye line of the show. Let's put seats that you can only see the backstage area with. I think I said the same joke 4 times. One more time for Todd Barry. This is all I do now. This is me 10 years from now. One more time, keep it going. He's still in the room, let him know. That's gonna be me, as if that's different from how I am now. I expected more. This is the 20th year of this speech, so I started when I was 12. Age joke. Not only am I an old comic, I've been grandfathered in. I wrote that joke, I didn't think it would work, but I thought maybe with hand motions it would be good. Look at this. I'm a whirly I need you people here the whole time. I'm so sick of the show slowing down when my material gets weak. And I hate everything about it. Also, if anything forms in the corner of my mouth, like Wayne LaPierre, if you see Wayne LaPierre in the corner of my mouth, that's an ad-lib. Todd can't do that. That's what I do. He sticks to the script. He never ad-libs. That wasn't an ad-lib. And if you think even he's doing a thing, he memorized it. Why? It's all going to be about Todd, the speech. The state of our industry is strong. The state of our industry is funny. I'm very excited this year. I'm never excited, so when I say that, that's just a way of whipping up fake enthusiasm. This year I'm announcing that I'm finally going to take my career public. And I'm also planning there will be a hostile takeover by my bitterness. Come on, it's a business joke. I have a new stage name. I call myself the Antichrist. Turning water into wine. W-H-I-N-E. Thank you, Josh. Elvis Weinstein wrote that joke. Why am I giving anybody credit? I'm not doing well. Why should I help him? I, Andrew D. Kindler, I am hereby announcing that I am banning any comedian with a beard from entering North America until I can figure out what's going on. You know, people are getting shot everywhere. I don't know how to introduce a topic like this. What's up with shooting people? Well, shooting people's in the news. He's something. He's something in Orlando now. Imagine if Jay Leno did monologue jokes about horrible tragedies with that same bouncy head. So anyway, the Orlando nightclub shootings in the news. There it's, Kim Kardashian. All right, we would somehow make it horrible. Now look, you let me know. Someone can run up here and punch me if I'm too close to the mic. Close to the mic was the name of my second CD. That always works. That always works was the name of my third CD. I'm just telling you, I know how to structure laughs. I don't choose to. But people are getting shot in nightclubs now. That's why I refuse to draw well. You know what I'm saying? It's not an attractive target. Someone who wants to go to shootings, but there won't be that many people at an Andy Kindler show. Let's get more bang for our buck. Literally! All right, look, this is uncomfortable. Why would I say anything about it? I apologize to people just in general. A group led by, I don't even know what this means, WME and ING has bought UFC. I don't know, I think it's a song from Hair. And they bought it, and that's just to broadcast their own agency infighting. Okay. I have a new Jew, as you know, I've come up with many Jewish superheroes over the years. Years ago I came up with Godzilla. Godzilla, why are you going to destroy Japan on an empty stomach, Godzilla? Godzilla! If your blood sugar's gonna go low. Now my new character is Hulkula. Oh my God, my body's expanding. I just bought this shirt. Excuse me, I go right to a tailor, that's the first thing. My body seems to be changing. Can you fix the buttons on my expanded body shirt? These are jokes that I wouldn't normally put in the speech. I get in a lot of trouble for everything I do, and I'm going to start, thank you, I'm going to start to switch from making fun of other comics to making fun of characters in comic books. Please ignore how I set up the jokes. Anybody can set up something properly and causing you to laugh at the punchline. That's not what I do. I fun for. So I'm going to start making fun of characters in comic book. Nice shirt, Archie. I think one of the problems is that some of these things I didn't prepare material about. It was just a headline. You know, whenever Canadians, it always freaks me out. Not freaks me out, but like when Canadians, they try to come down to the United States, they have to prove that they're, what are you going to add to the United States? Why should we allow you into the United States? Do you have that Ryan Seacrest touch? I mean, we let Piers Morgan in. Do you bring as much to the table? See, he does. Come on, show us what you can do. Before Bernie Sanders, the last time I heard someone use the word establishment was from an episode of Room 222. I'm gonna shake it off. Here's an actual discussion. Here's what's living. If a lot of the ladies or men or inanimate objects want to know what it would be like being married to me, here's a typical conversation me and the wife have. Wife, I thought the construction sounds were coming from The Office. I say, the original Office? One of us, uproarious laughter. I have told the hospital, I filled out those directives, do not resuscitate my career. You know, people say that the show, these are, what I should have done is thrown these in at the end, but as always, I decide, why don't I go 10 minutes of isolated one-liners that are hit and miss? Who likes hit and miss openings? You know, they always say laughing is a seminal show, but it's not a funny show. We can all agree about that, right? Laughing, it doesn't hold up. Not only does it not hold up, the TV slides down the wall when you're watching it. Would that be funnier as a cartoon? I have a new one-man show. It's called Racism Why, and explores a white man's inappropriate quest to explain racism in the worst format possible. The one-man show format. Here's the first line of my eulogy that I would like it to be, which I'm hoping will be soon. Finally, he came up with a decent closer. I just want to tell you people something. Getting vaguely recognized is all it's cracked up to be. Let me tell you that. No, not from that show. No, not from that show. I'll give you a list of shows you might have recognized me from. I tweet more than psychopaths. That's how much I tweet. More than psychopaths an hour before they're going to snap. I'm tweeting that much now. It's not healthy. They call me the king of premises. That's what they call, why I call myself that. I think it's a good moniker. Monica Lewinsky! There's always a vaudevillian comedian living in my skull. It can come out at any time, unfortunately. I'm the king of premises. I was the first comedian to discover the differences between men and women. This is absolutely true, 1993. I came up, and before that, comics, they didn't know what to say. They would go up, they go, hey, I see a lot of men and women here, and you know, there's some biological differences, but you know, you look past that, we're really the same inside. See, nothing. But then I noticed it, because men and women are, am I right, guys? Men and women are different, guys? Are you with me on this? Ladies, take a breather, all right? Ladies, I'll be with, guys, stay with, ladies, would you please take a breather? God, this guy knows what I'm talking about. That lady's going, Come on, guys, stick with me on this. Men and women are different, because women go to the bathroom in pairs, right, guys? Right, fellas? They go to the bathroom in pairs. And men are often verbally abusive. And if they're verbally abusive, chances are they're going to be physically abusive. And the first time it happens, you're like, wow, I'm like dating Marlon Brando in A Streetcar Named Desire. But no, it's not a movie. And if you don't take action, you don't take care of yourself, you might end up in a shelter. Because guys and girls are different. Who's with me in this? Ladies, fellas, this guy, that guy, and the other lady over there. Because women, they leave the seat down, and men, you will eventually have to take out a restraining order. Right? Who better than me does the second example of a joke that doesn't move the ball along? Amen? Why wrap it up? I want to go parallel on the second example. If some people thought the first example was funnier, I don't want to know if you feel bad with this. A lot of people say to me, none of people say anything to me, but just for the sake of the premise. A lot of people say to me, Andy, why are you not in movies? Why am I not? I haven't been in one movie. I made a Showtime thing. I call a movie, but come on, let's be honest. And it was one line. Why does Musso get through? That was it. I said that to Joe Mantegna. And yes, it was the 7 deadly sins. I'm like Marco Rubio when I hydrate. I'm so afraid I'm going to lose the room. And why? Oh yeah, you know what, Andy? You have a limited amount of time. Make sure you screw the cap on, like you're using a wrench. What am I protecting exactly? A lot of people, did I say? A lot of people want to know why I haven't done movies. Did I say that? Did I intro it? Because I am the last victim of the blacklist. The McCarthy. It's sad, in a way. It's sad. I'm the last victim of the blacklist. I was a communist, and I was willing to name names. That's the thing. I didn't care. I said Larry the Cable Guy is a communist. I said Jeff Dunham and Peanut are communists. What I was willing to do is I was willing to name names of comics I don't enjoy. It's a win-win, is what I thought. And I loved being a communist. I loved it. Nothing dissuaded. Even when Stalin came in, I was like, I like it. I like what this guy. I like the cut of his genocide. Is what I said. Yes, he's moody. Yeah, I get it. He's impulsive. I understand. Yes, I know he killed 30 million people. But did you ever think about all the people he didn't kill, Stalin? You ever think about that? You ever factor that into your equation? Plus, look how roomy the Soviet Union is now. Plus, the Russian comedians get to use gulag as their punchline. What, am I going to end up in the gulag? The man was decisive is what I'm saying. He said what he meant and he meant what he said. I don't know, why did I add that? All right. Okay. Todd, the way Todd makes it sound is like I'm going to go after the same targets I've gone after before. It's ridiculous. I update my material every year. It's never the same people. It's been 20 years of Leno jokes. 20 years. Why would I go after Louie CK after it was so damaging to my career the first time around? Why would I? I'm not going to do it. Anyway, Louie CK, several months ago, he got all this notice in the media. Oh, this is me, a bitter me. Oh, great. Oh, sure. Louie CK. He emails his fans and he compares Trump to Hitler. And the media's like, oh, genius, genius. Who would think of this kind of outrageous comparison? And why do they celebrate him? Because he's wealthy. They love people who are wealthy. It doesn't matter what they do, is my argument. So, I've been comparing people to Hitler since I was 5 years old. Nothing. Hollywood Reporter's on line 1. Why would I have a line 1 at home? Why would I have a line at all at home? I've been comparing people to Hitler since I was 5. I said years ago that Dave Cook was like Hitler. Years ago. except he's worse than Hitler because at least Hitler had a point of view. I said that before Louie CK changes material every year. I said that. I said Bill Maher was like Hitler, except Hitler is more likable. That was me. Nothing. Not even a byline in the situation. I said before Louis, I said Trump is like Hitler, except at least Hitler was a veteran. At least Hitler was a self-made dictator. Trump is exactly like Hitler, except Hitler had less crazy facial expressions. Trump was like Hitler, except at least Hitler had some kind of a plan. So, Louie CK wrote to his fans, and he told them not to vote for Trump. And I certainly hope the people who would download Horace and Pete, I hope he was able to dissuade them not to vote for Trump, because those are the people who are going to vote for Trump. People, let me tell you something. If you have to download something or add a number in or read a screen, those aren't Trump voters. All they can do is, it was like, to download this, punch the screen. Louie CK is hundreds of millions of dollars in debt now. I think. I don't know. I don't buy anything he says. But you know what I'm saying? Because of that debacle, I have decided to stop charging $1 for my tweets. You know, ever since Louie CK wrote to his fans and compared Trump to Hitler, Hitler's career is blowing up. He's starring in the new remake of Hogan's Heroes on NBC, which is remaking everything. The audiobook of Mein Kampf is available at louisck.com. That's a joke. But what's not a joke is that Louie CK wanted people to vote for John Kasich. You do the math, folks. I thought that would be funny. Maybe John Kasich is a favorable character to you people. I don't know what I'm gonna. Why do you know? I turned on you, but had no reason to. Hence my entire career. Donald Trump is going to round everybody up, and he's going to put them in concentration camps. The greatest concentration camps ever made. Huge towers of gold at the top of the barbed wire. I will get the Jews to pay for the camps. Disregard the fact that this might be off the subject of the industry. But it is Hitler, so what are you going to do? How come Mike Huckabee has visited Auschwitz 6 times? Doesn't that make you nervous? What's he doing over there? Sure, I can see going to Auschwitz twice. You don't get to see everything the first time. You want to ride, get on the rides. But 6 times, what is he doing 6 times? He's taking notes, voluminous notes. The implication here is that Mike Huckabee would round us all up and put us in concentration camps. That's right, I am trivializing the Holocaust for laughs. Thank you. Please don't be that silent, as I've always said. Every year, as the bottom falls out of the set. What the heck? All right, still going on. Don't worry, it's still going on. 22 minutes. It's been on so far. and I'm 5 pages in. What is the matter with me? You know, there's deconstruction, and then there's like, get off of it already. You know what I love about Donald Trump? I don't like anything about Donald Trump, but he's like an evil Rupert Pupkin, is what he's like. He says things that comics would say, like in the rhythm of comic, and then after it, like he says, crooked Hillary, he goes, crooked Hillary. No, it's true, it's true. It's true. He's an insult comedian without any material. It's true, no, it's true. What's true? Sources reveal that Trump's second choice for VP was Jeff Dunham's Walter. That seemed funny to me a week ago. Hilarious! The guy looks like Walter. People will love it. A few years from now, I look forward to Celebrity Führer. Celebrity Führer. How can Penn Jillette not win that? He was on Celebrity Apprentice twice, Penn Jillette. I rest my case against Penn Jillette. He would make a great Nazi. He already likes Ayn Rand. She was a Nazi, am I wrong? People get upset at me online, well, for everything, but they get upset with me a lot because I do compare Trump to Hitler all the time. And they always go, you're breaking Godwin's law. First of all, Godwin's law is not an actual law. And Godwin's law is this guy named Godwin who said that any argument gets lost online if you introduce Hitler. I think if you can't compare someone to Hitler, what's the point of comparisons? And I believe that our news media, the way they treat Trump like he's like a regular person instead of a fascist, I think they would have called Hitler Mr. Trump. I know, that was what I thought would happen. But Godwin's law, and this guy, Godwin, claiming that if you bring Hitler into it, you lose your, what is this guy, a Nazi of some type? I do watch Hitler documentaries every weekend, and nothing improves my mood more than watching Hitler lose again. He makes the same mistake in every documentary. You're an idiot, Hitler. Again, you invaded Russia? What's the matter with you? I'm working on Hitler's Twitter bio. So, dad to Hitler Youth, painter, contrarian, bunker mentality, new atheist, Jew hater, propaganda movie buff. Can't sing, can't act, can dance a little, can commit genocide a lot. Love him or hate him, Hitler really, he means what he says what he means. That's the way 1930 cable news pundits described him. My mom called me up because she reads, and my mom, like, well, she knows where I am. It's like a nightmare. My mother knows where I am all the time because I'm on Twitter. And she's like, and so she gets upset if I compare Trump to Hitler. So she called me up once and she said, why don't you leave Hitler alone? Okay. I don't know if you heard Louie CK on WTF, but I have some, I learned a lot about Horace and Pete from the 5-hour interview. It took Louie CK 6 hours to write the first episode. And I found out from listening to the interview, he doesn't do a lot of rewriting. That's a shock! What a surprise! You mean he doesn't just write the first time and go, that's how it was meant to be? You learn something new. Episode 4 came to him in a dream. It was like automatic writing. Episode 8 has no dialogue. This is, has anyone seen Horace and Pete? Episode Episode 8 has no dialogue, and the first half is just a close-up of a shot glass for 20 minutes, and you hear muffled laughs in the background. Horace, how did he come up with Horace? Horace was a name he got from his head. And Louie, did I say Louis? Have I been saying Louis the whole time? It would be good though. Be like, oh, he doesn't respect Louis, he calls him Louis. Yeah, I call him Louis. It's like people call Barack Obama Barry, because there's something wrong with him. Don't say that, he'll fly in a rage if you say that Horace and Pete was a nice sitcom. Because he's like, it's not a sitcom. Because I heard him, he's interviewed by Mark Maron, he's like, it's not a sitcom. Because you can't do the type of things that I do on this show, on sitcoms. Because on sitcoms, everything's got to be, wrapped up neatly. Yeah, except for The Office, the original Office, and except for All in the Family, and except for Seinfeld, and except for 40 other sitcoms that were able to do amazing things. No, it's all different now. Did you know that Louis kept the show a secret? He didn't even know it was coming on. He kept the show a secret for dramatic effect, and also to avoid letting people know it was on. That was the... I wish Louie CK had sent an email months ago to greedy Lorne Michaels requesting that he not book Trump to host Saturday Night Live. Do you know that Lorne Michaels, if Trump wins, is responsible for blowing up the planet? That's what he's responsible for. How do you slice it? He gave Trump a platform. And if Trump wins, you can blame Lorne Michaels. You know, Lorne Michaels, when he talks about the creation of Saturday Night Live, he says, yeah, I told John Belushi, well, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. Yeah, so all you know about Lorne Michaels is that he almost destroyed his own show. And I didn't watch, I did watch a little bit of him on SNL, and I did notice that the camera adds 10 pounds of racism to Donald Trump. And the reason why NBC went with having Trump host it was they wanted to make racism funny again. That's what they wanted to do. Are these things rye? Is that what the problem is? But allowing a Nazi to host, that's what he did. Oh yeah, Nazi, what would the ratings be like if I had it? Okay, sure. That's what Lorne Michaels said. Because he doesn't have a soul or a conscience. But do you love Lorne Michaels? None of you are going to be on Saturday Night Live. You're looking around. Is Kurt Metzger out there looking around? Oh, I don't want to be seen. I'll just sit here and smoke this vape thing. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to go with Kindler down that road. I know which side of my sketch character bread is buttered on. Lorne's problem is he suffers from seasonal affective disorder. Cold weather makes him unbearably pretentious. These things are good in writing. Maybe there shouldn't be a speech every year. You know what I'm saying? I'll get that call. There's gonna be that call at one point. When I go out I'm out to get fit for my walker or something. And Bruce Hills is on the phone. All right, get fit for my walker. Who wouldn't Lorne Michaels allow to host Saturday Night Live? Pol Pot? Would that be too? Genghis Milosevic? Would that be too much? Too evil? Giuliani? Would that be? Including Donald Trump. Do you know how many past and future Nazis Lorne Michaels has booked to host? This is some trivia. Kurt Waldheim hosted 3 times. Himmler twice. Goebbels co-hosted with George Goebbels. to cancel Hitler's third appearance as Saturday Night Live host because of bunker issues. I don't know if anybody saw G.E. Smith. He was I don't want to toot my own horn, but I covered the 2012 Democratic National Convention, no, Republican National Convention. Maybe if I had words that were correct and didn't do the tomahawk chop. I get there in 2012 to cover the RNC for Letterman. I see G.E. Smith there. G.E. Smith. And here's the reason. He's interviewed. Here's the reasons that he gives. He says that they offered him good money. He said no. Then they offered him great money. He still said no. Then they offered him amazingly great money. He said yes. Why would you relate that story? Why would you say, look, I don't sell out just for anything. And this year he said, you want me to open up for a Nazi? You're gonna really have to pony up. Thank you. G.E. Smith and the sellouts are going into the studio to record sessions with Jeff Sessions. You can also catch them at Confederate Bonnaroo. And also they'll be at the People Who Look Like Us festival this year. What, my G.E. Smith material is not going over? G.E. Smith has agreed to change his name to Comcast Smith for $200. Somebody got shot outside the I don't know how to introduce it more upbeat, but somebody was shot and killed outside the Comedy Store. Did that happen? It's hard to believe that anything negative could happen at the Comedy Store. It's hard for me to swallow. And you know it wasn't me because I've never killed at the Comedy Store. Now that's a solid joke. Why couldn't I make the rest? Is it really going to be the rest of our lives? It's going to be karaoke, James Corden in a car. If I die tonight, at least I can say I saw carpool karaoke. What's happened to us? What has happened to us? Is that what we want our talk show hosts to do? They have to be. Was Johnny Carson a crooner? No. You have to have Baryshnikov-style dancing skills. Thank you. Except for Jimmy Fallon, comedians are really having a field day with Trump, though. You have to say it. I saw Ryan Seacrest and Jimmy Fallon on the show compete in a superficial off. It was really... And before going on the show, candidates are going to have to ask themselves, how will making balloon animals affect my image? I don't think I'm getting even laughs now. Greg Ferguson, is it Greg Ferguson or Greg Ferguson? That's partially a slam. He has a new show on the History Channel. Maybe it should be on the He's History Channel, am I right? He blocked me shortly after that tweet. I love Jeff Foxworthy, and I love Jeff Foxworthy hawking Golden Corral. If you enjoy food that's been sitting in a chafing dish for 6 hours, you just might like the Golden Corral. If you like the way I say sriracha, well then you just might like the Golden Corral. And for $1.99 you get to take a take-home box. I would kill myself before saying that. But the Golden Corral fits into the Jeff Foxworthy brand. Huge portions of bland material. That's right, Foxworthy's going down. Nobody from the blue collar tour is safe from my... Yeah, we all hate Ricky Gervais, but I think if you saw some of the stuff he's doing now, I love his tweets. God, don't let him block me, because his tweets He does this thing, he goes, he's not a stand-up comic. Let's just get it out of the way. You don't do stand-up comic, he did stand-up comic 15 times, and he said, yeah, I'll go on an HBO show and pretend I'm an expert with actual stand-up comics. He organizes something called a new comedy night. Why don't you just do new comedy instead of advertising? He's like, I'm going to come down from my penthouse and it's new comedy. Here's the truth about Ricky Gervais. He hates his own guts. There's no doubt about it. Deep on the inside, he knows he's a fraud. And so he has to cover it up with bravado. You can't have every other tweet be about how you don't care about what people think and then expect us to not believe that's all you care about, what people think. Here's what he actually tweeted. Here's an actual tweet. Some people are allergic to jokes. This is not me, this is him. This is word for word. Some people are allergic to jokes because it's unreasonable to expect them to control their own feelings. All jokes are now banned. What is he talking about? Who's banning his jokes? This is how he reacts to getting a weak reaction. Oh, can't do my act now. He slammed the Pixels movie by comparing it to Schindler's List. Even I wouldn't do that. This is a tweet from him. If I'm lying, I'm buying. I don't know what he goes, this is a tweet, this is actual, you can find this in the thing. He goes, with my material, often you don't know it's a joke until the surprise. I mean, it's crazy, right? You don't start the joke with the punchline? Is that what he's a rebel? He's a rebel. Oh, you know, it's not a joke until the joke part? Is that what he's saying? He's on a different level. You know what? If you're a comedian, the best thing you should do is over-explain to people how you do comedy. That's the funniest thing people like. Is when you tell them and they can see the hideousness of your personality as you over-explain how you're a genius. Thank you. And also, who hired Ricky Gervais to hawk Verizon? Nobody. People will get rid of their phones if they see him. He's not sincere. You know he hates the buyer, the consumer. I don't know. Okay, so this is the thing now. Ricky Gervais, he has all these accounts. I don't think they're technically connected to him, but they're like fan accounts, and then he retweets them like it's a lovely surprise. And then when he hosts the Golden Globes for months before, he's like, oh, this is so, he actually tweeted, this is so offensive, I'm even offended. Oh, it's gonna be, I mean, when he hosts the Golden Globes, you're like, wow, this is so subversive. How did that billionaire get past the guards? Well, now he has an account, and it's called Ricky Gervais Stand-Up. That's the name of the account, because that's different from him. And this is what's on the website right now. This is how he's labeling the clips. Out of England too. Was that one of his specials? Did anyone see that? Fat people at the supermarket. What's the next clip? Is being fat the same as being gay? And what's the name of the third clip? Fat people. And there's only 4 clips. I got a big clothes, don't worry about it. I'm writing in memoriams, and I hope in my in memoriam when I die that they label it worth a click. That's what I want to do. Here's in memoriam for shows I wish were dead. Canceled. Goodbye, South Park. You brought us crude animation and annoying voices. Hard to believe you squeezed 40 seasons out of it. Here's what I would have written for Arliss. Farewell, Arliss. It was a great run. You made us hate sports and comedy. And moving images and people and words. You were missed. Here's for two nude girls. Goodbye, two poor girls. We hardly watched ye. Personally, I didn't get it. Was it the live audience? What is the live audience laughing at exactly? I'll never forget the scene in the diner. Or the wacky character who was a little bit out there. Sayonara, Carson Daly. Your technique was amazing. I never saw your lips move. You put the lax in relaxed. I can't remember any of it. Goodbye, Jon Stewart. What will we miss most about you? The mugging and humility. The sanctimony and pomposity. I got it. But I'm getting off right at 4 o'clock. You said 4 o'clock? I'm going to get off at 3:59 and 30 seconds. What do we miss about you, John? The I'm better than these people vibe. Too soon! The last 5 Steve Jobs movies I've really enjoyed. I like Steve Jobs' SVU, I thought was good. I liked him as an out-of-control bachelor who eats dinner over his laptop on the courtship of Annie's father. I liked him on the show Jobsy. I liked the show about him and his wacky friend, Woz, not Woz. Steve Jobs' Medicine Woman was a good show. I have more examples of what how his cars run. Leno has a car that runs by not touching his Tonight Show money. Leno has a car that runs with a tremendous amount of energy he expends trying to get people to like him. Why are people complain about Hillary Clinton getting $200,000 a year, but they don't care about Jay Leno who's gotten $1 million for these horrible corporate gigs? Why isn't that a scandal? I'd like to see those transcripts. It's $1 million to perform at United Generics. People are outraged that I would accept money to perform for a corporation 5 minutes into my act. Jay Leno has a car that runs on the energy generated by his ability to disguise his real feelings. He has a car that runs on the machinations of his passive-aggressive personality. He has a car completely made out of denim that runs out of misplaced bitterness. All right. So now I have to do that thing where okay, Dennis Miller. I'm actually going to skip Bill Maher. What do you think of that? What do you think? It's not that good. I write these things like a few weeks before, and then I cram the night before, and then sometimes it just looks like a screed. Remember when Dennis Miller, before he became remember when he was funny? You remember that, everyone remembers that. Before he became a right-wing fanatic, because after 9/11 his shipment of Fiji water was delayed. What put him over the edge? He got enraged when they wanted to look at his man purse before letting him enter Brooks Brothers. And by man purse, I mean his horrible face. All right, now. Here's my impression of Dennis Miller 10 years from now. Here's my impression of Dennis Miller. because he's getting worse and worse. Look, you know, at this point, we need a Joey Goebbels. You got the mouse out there, choo-choo. Say what you want about Chico Gruber, but he got the trains to run on time. I would train 7 or 8 million Jews if it made the Amtrak Acela line run out of time on Pittsburgh, caca. Look, waterboarding is not my bag, but Jules Verne, Black Lives Matter, Washington Carver. I mean, look, Cha-Cha, Obama's kabuki dance is like Trudeau riding the NAFTA bus with a Fellini Copernicus. I hate myself. Okay, NBC, oh, I'm almost done now. This is what every year it's the same nonsense. But unlike previous years, it's not like I left a lot out. All right, 3 more minutes. All right, here's the deal. NBC is making the match game, and they're making a $20,000 period. Where do they come up with these old ideas? Hey, Prairie Home Companion is gone. Isn't that great? All right, so, all right, here's an actual. Boy, I was going to have a don't mean to do this, but this is an actual voice message that Todd Glass, word for word, left on my answering machine. Word for word. Andy, Fallon did this bit where in the middle of his monologue he told a joke and says, "Oh, I think I pulled a muscle, but if you know anything about the Tonight Show, the monologue must go on. Is there someone who could fill in for me?" And then he tags Jay, and Jay came out and did some monologue jokes. And I'm telling you, my nature is to forget sometimes. I don't want to be reminded of how shitty he is, but it's like his publicist said to him, "Listen, people might have forgotten about how shitty you were." They just might have. Even though you did it for 22 years, people forget. And there might be some younger people that don't even know you. They just started watching TV when you were gone. So why don't you go back on Fallon and do this bit he's recommending you do, where you fill in for him for the monologue and do your shittiest, worst monologue jokes. It was so bad, Andy. It was like a joke. You know what? It's not my fault he sucks so much. People go, what do you have against him? Nothing. It's his act. I don't wish him any harm. Of course I don't. I'm not a monster, but that act. 10 minutes later, because I told him I liked it, so he left another one. James, your publisher's Alan. I know you're thinking about it, but I'm telling you, you should go on Fifth Jimmy Fallon. They're doing a bit where basically Jimmy is going to act like he's spraying himself, and they need someone to fill in for him, and then you'll be right there. You know, just like you always are. And he'll come on and do some monologue jokes. I know you're probably thinking, oh, it's got to be funny. I got to prove I'm the old Jay Leno. I'm funny. No! Just do your same old shit monologue jokes you did for 23 years. That's what the people want. And by the way, there's a lot of people who might not even be familiar with you. Young people who grew up after Fallon had already taken over. Remind them of how shitty you are. I know Jay, you're sitting over there thinking, I gotta be the old Jay, I gotta be the old funny Jay. Stop with that already. You're not that Jay anymore, nor should you put the pressure on yourself to be the old funny Jay. Do shit jokes. Do jokes about Sir Bernie Sanders about his age. It doesn't fucking matter. You think, oh, everyone does that. It doesn't even matter. Do those old jokes. Do prostate jokes. Do whatever you want. All the shit. The creme de la shit de la shit. I just think it would be good to remind people you're not funny. Oh, yeah. And in closing, it hasn't the hour gone along like 2. A lot of critics, they say that my act reminds them of Joan Rivers. Not the comedy, but they just predict that I will die during a routine procedure. Thank you, everybody!